What's up everybody, Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure review. Today from Star Wars The Black Series, we are taking a look at the brand new Tusken Chieftain. And hey, what do you know, I totally forgot this figure even existed, but it just recently showed up from Amazon. And while I am happy to have the Tusken Chieftain in the Black Series, as most of you are aware, this is just mostly reuse from that old Tusken Raider figure, so there's going to be some disappointing qualities with this figure. We'll definitely discuss that a little bit more later in the review. For now though, let's just go ahead and take a quick look at the package. This is in the windowed Book of Boba Fett Galaxy look. The mural art on the side looking very nice. Here's the bio on the back if you want to pause it. We also get a zoomed in shot of the art there. The Tusken Chieftain is the 6th figure in the Book of Boba Fett line. And then here's the barcode down at the bottom. So we're not going to waste too much time here. We'll go ahead, we'll take a look at the Chieftain's one and only accessory, and then the figure itself. And here we are with the staff, and you can see it is a pretty nice large accessory. Not too many paint app details on it, but there is a little bit of silver down at the bottom. The handle here is just cast in some brown plastic, but it does actually have some like wood grain details on it, which is nice. And then the top of the staff here, just more of that silver paint, looking real nice. This is also a brand new sculpt, not from a previous Tusken release. So it's great that we got the one weapon we see come with the Chieftain, but maybe we could have got a couple other weapons with them as well. So now let's take a look at the figure. All right, and so here is the Tusken Chieftain out of the packaging, and actually this figure has surprised me a little bit. While the arms and legs are 100% reuse from the original Tusken Raider figure, the torso and head sculpt this time around are actually brand new, along with the robes as well. Those are some newly tooled soft goods as well. Even the soft plastic skirt is different than the original Tusken Raider, and I'll do a side-by-side comparison with both of them just so you can see that actually there's quite a bit of new here on the Tusken Chieftain, so it's honestly gained a little bit more respect in my book. But let's go ahead, we'll get him off the stand, and let's just take a closer look. And here we are up close and personal, and the Chieftain just has some really amazing details packed in. We actually get a decent bit of paint on this figure, which especially these days is something I'm always going to point out on a Black Series figure. And like I mentioned, there is quite a bit of new sculpting. So starting out with the head here, it just looks so nice. They did such a great job translating the Chieftain look to the Black Series. Side by side with the Tusken, you can already see the differences in the head. But yeah, really great details there. Lots of paint, some really nice textured, sculpted details too on the head itself. And then, like I said, the overlay pieces are new here. These are nicely done. This looks like some sort of, breathing piece. And then we have the Chieftain necklace underneath. All really nicely detailed and painted. So that looks really great. And then, like I said, the torso is also new here. You can see spoilers for the articulation. We do have butterfly joints. I mean, even side by side, you could just see the obvious differences there. The original Tusken having the bandolier straps sculpted on, and the Chieftain does not. So that's actually surprising, and a nice detail there. And I can't remember specifically, but I want to say there is something slightly inaccurate about this figure. Maybe it's the robes. Maybe it's something to do with the necklace, but at this point, I'm so removed from the Book of Boba Fett that even to my mind's eye, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is the Tusken Chieftain. He looks good, but I do just want to mention, I think there is something, I want to say it's with the robe. Something with the robe is not quite accurate, but I still think it turned out nice. It's got this whole other separate piece here that just gives it a little bit more dimension, and I think the red paint on it looks really nice too. And so like I was saying, even the soft plastic skirt is a brand new sculpt, which is mildly disappointing in my opinion. I think if they were to do this figure my way, I would have preferred this to be soft goods, just to free up the articulation a little bit on the legs, because it does severely limit it, even though we do have a nice big long slit. But yeah, just some more unexpected new sculpting here, and that of course means even the back is new. But like I said, the legs are the original Tusken Raider legs. You can tell by the double knees, and these aren't bad legs. I do like the legs, but the problem just comes from the soft skirt blocking almost all of their articulation. And you can see here the arms are the same as well. They're just painted differently, or cast in a different plastic, I should say, because unlike the original Tusken. Looks like we did lose out on some paint app details for the bandages around the feet, which is never good to see. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it was because of the actual shading that's on the skirt piece here. And there is a little bit more separate paint towards the belt piece there. So overall, pretty nicely detailed, and the reuse is surprisingly little on this guy. So let's go ahead and move on to the articulation. So for the head, the Chieftain is on the double neck peg system, so he can look up just a little bit, and he can actually look down a decent amount as well. The head, of course, does move side to side, and he has plenty of tilt as well. Pretty big improvement over the original Tusken Raiders head articulation. That original figure is pretty limited in the head here, so nice update there thanks to that new torso. And so with that being said, these shoulders can move out pretty much all the way up here, straight forward. They can rotate around, but of course with the soft goods robe on, you can't really do that without twisting the robe up. So you can just get him to go about that far and that far without really twisting the robe up. And we do also have butterfly joints like you saw earlier, which is very nice. Love to see it. I'll never not be excited about butterfly joints. We do have the single jointed elbow here that just gives you 90 degrees and has a swivel. And then we also have the trigger finger hand, which rotates around and unfortunately has a horizontal hinge. The gripping hand is also a horizontal hinge, unfortunately. As far as an ab crunch goes, he can actually move pretty far forward for a Black Series figure and can go a decent amount backwards as well. It is on a ball joint, so we get rotation here and plenty of side to side as well. Really nice range of motion there for the Tusken. Now for the legs, this is where we're going to encounter some major issues because as it stands with the soft goods skirt, if you don't want to fold it, that's about the range you're looking at. Of course, you can fold this up and see that the legs can stick out about that far. He can do the splits even with the skirt piece down because it has the slits on the side. We also have thigh swivel on these old legs. There is absolutely no kickback thanks to the soft plastic skirt here. But let's see, would there be kickback anyway? Not really. Like I said earlier, these are those old Tusken knees. So they are double jointed, have pretty good range of motion there. But of course, again, with this soft skirt piece here, you're not going to really be able to enjoy any of that. And as far as the feet go, they can go down very far. They can go up very far too. And he does have peg holes and ankle pivot. So the articulation here is actually a lot better than I would have originally expected, but he does actually have some decent posability, although I just wish that this would have been soft goods and it would have been even better. This figure probably would have been hot fire, in my opinion, if this had just been changed to soft goods. But as is, you still get some pretty good range of motion out of him, although most of the leg range is killed. So now let's go ahead and do a few comparisons here. Starting things off, we have the Black Series Tusken Raiders. We've got the original version and then the credit collection release. And they look pretty good together. I kind of think those older Tusken Raiders, the heads are a little large, so it kind of looks a little disproportionate between them, but on the shelf, it's probably not going to look too bad. We'll do a couple Book of Boba Fett figures. We've got the Pike Soldier, and technically it's from Mandalorian, but it is Nomad Boba Fett, which is a look we see pretty heavily in Book of Boba Fett. And Boba and the Tusken Chieftain, I think, look really great together. And lastly, for the comparisons, we got a couple Jawas. We have the Off-World and the regular. And so overall, I'd have to say that the Tusken Chieftain here actually surprised me a little bit. I was fully expecting this to just be a 100% repaint with a new head, but really the only reuse we got here are in the arms and legs, and that is really not all that bad. I think, though, we could have gotten a few more accessories, maybe a black melon. That would have been some cool world building stuff to see. And again, I think they should have done a soft goods skirt totally. I think it would have made this figure awesome and taken it to the next level. But even as is, I think this is a pretty strong release, maybe even a little bit of a sleeper hit in my opinion. The included update of the butterfly joints is always great. This figure actually has a lot of paint on it, and we get some decent looking soft goods, even though, like I said, I'm pretty sure there's something inaccurate about them. I'm actually kind of surprised about this one, and I would definitely recommend you pick it up. It looks really awesome. I think he's going to look great on the shelf with the other Tuskens as well. So yeah, there you have it. There was my review. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars The Black Series here on the channel. And I got to give a big shout out and a special thank you to all of our current channel members, though. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement, and I will see you next time.